Welcome back to the channel, dear friends. If you're here for the first time, we are grateful you found your way to this space, a space not for performance or perfection, but for honesty, rest, and the remembrance of truth. If you've been with us for a while, you know that we keep things real. And today, we need to talk about something very real: exhaustion. Not just the kind that comes after a long day of work or a night without sleep, but the soul-deep weariness that comes from trying to keep it all together, trying to be kind when you're hurting, trying to stay hopeful when everything feels uncertain, trying to hold space for others when you can barely hold it for yourself. So today, we don't just speak of ideas. We sit with what's heavy, we sit with what's raw, we sit with the part of you that's tired and tell it you're not alone. And in this sacred pause, we turn to one of the most powerful and misunderstood texts in spiritual history, the Diamond Sutra. Not a book of comfort in the traditional sense. It doesn't promise miracles. It doesn't offer sweet reassurances. What it does offer, though, is something far more liberating: the truth of emptiness, the truth of non-attachment, the truth of radical freedom. Today, I want to share with you 3 lines from the Diamond Sutra. 3 lines that, when truly understood, can shift the way you hold your pain, your work, your identity, and yes, your exhaustion. Let's begin with the first. Poor conditioned phenomena are like a dream, an illusion, a bubble, a shadow, light dew, or a flash of lightning. Thus should one view them. Read that again. Everything you are struggling with, your fears, your schedule, your pressures, your failures, they are not unreal, but they are impermanent. They rise and pass like dreams. You don't need to deny their impact. You simply need to stop gripping them as if they define you. This line is not about escape. It's about perspective. It says, yes, you are tired, but don't confuse your fatigue with your identity. You are not your exhaustion. You are not your role. You are not your latest mistake or your most recent triumph. You are awareness itself, watching the storm, but not the storm. Let's go to the second teaching. The mind should operate without dwelling anywhere. This is not just poetic. It's the most radical instruction for emotional freedom you'll ever hear. The mind that clings to outcomes, to approval, to success, to being understood, is the mind that suffers. The mind that dwells is the mind that sinks. But the mind that flows moment to moment, thought to thought, breath to breath, this mind is light. It sees everything. It clings to nothing. So if you're tired, maybe it's not your body that's worn down. Maybe it's your mind's habit of dwelling on the past, dwelling on others' opinions, dwelling on how things should have gone. The Diamond Sutra says, let the mind be like the sky, vast, open, clear. Let thoughts pass through, like birds flying across the horizon. Let emotions come and go, like clouds drifting on a breeze. Don't try to control the sky. Just remember, you are not the cloud. You are the space. And now, the third teaching. And this one goes straight to the heart of spiritual identity. If a bodhisattva holds the view of a self, a person, a being, or a lifespan, then he is not a true bodhisattva. At first, this might sound confusing, but here's what it means. You don't have to hold everything together. You don't have to carry the whole world on your shoulders to be good. You don't have to prove your worth by how much you sacrifice. The bodhisattva, the awakened one, doesn't act from ego. They don't act from I must save. They act from presence, from love, from clarity. They give, but not from depletion. They help, but not from identity. They serve, but not from superiority. And so can you. You can rest and still be worthy. You can say no and still be compassionate. You can care for yourself without abandoning the path. Because the path isn't about becoming a perfect version of yourself. It's about realizing there is no fixed self to perfect. There is only awareness, moving through form, offering love where it can, and releasing the rest. So if you're tired, let yourself rest. Not because you're weak, but because rest is part of the rhythm. The breath must inhale and exhale. The ocean must rise and fall. The moon must wax and wane. So must you. You don't owe anyone constant output. You don't owe the world a version of you that never struggles. You only owe this moment your presence. And the Diamond Sutra reminds you, even that is already enough. What would happen if you believed that? What would happen if you stopped trying to be spiritual and just let yourself be still? What if you stopped dreading this teaching as something to master and started living it as something to feel? You'd see that the moments when you're most tender, most cracked open, most undone, those are the moments when the light pours through. Because when the you've been trying to protect finally drops, what's left is the real you. The one that doesn't need anything, the one that watches without judgment, the one that loves without condition, the one that simply is. And that's freedom. That's the quiet revolution the Diamond Sutra offers, not through new philosophies, but through undoing old illusions. So today, if you're weary, don't push, pause. Put your hand on your heart. Breathe slowly. Say to yourself, this moment is passing. I don't have to hold it. Say to yourself, I am not this thought. I am not this pain. I am the space in which it arises. Say to yourself, even now, I am whole. Because you are. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply remembering. One breath at a time. Thank you for watching this video. If it brought you even a small moment of peace, let that peace ripple forward. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Leave your reflections in the comments. And if you want more of these reminders, subscribe to the channel so we can keep walking together. Until next time, may your rest be sacred, your awareness be steady, and your heart know how deeply it is already enough.